What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorld, and what we're going to be talking about today is how you get the most training points for cheap in Madden 19 Ultimate Team. Now, it's a lot of different variations of cards and things like that. The Nats versus the cards that are auctionable or sellable or tradable, whatever, they go for more. Like if you get a Nat card with the same overall as a card that's not Nat, it's going to be 2 times the amount for the card that can be sold. Those things like that are just quick things that you need to understand. What I'm going to, draw your attention to is the fact that these challenges are available weekly, and you also get a decent amount. And this is all free, okay? So just make sure you pay attention to that going forward. But the real gist of it are the cards, okay? Now, we've been going back and forth. A lot of you guys have been leaving comments, and you guys don't seem to understand. When I'm doing a video and I just want to complete a set, I'm going to buy whatever card I want. I'm going to do a lot of different things because it's on the spot and it's live. When I'm showing you guys specifically how to get them for the cheapest amount, that's a whole different ball game, okay? Now, number one thing you have to understand, this is for grinders, okay? Because primarily we cater to the grinders here. We want guys to put in the work. We want guys to, achieve something, right? This is what you need to understand. When you play through these solos, right, a lot of the packs that you get, they're going to be auctionable cards. Some of them are Nats. Okay, most of the free packs that you get, they're going to be Nats. Okay, let's just, point that out right now. Get that out of the way. They're going to be Nats. All right, what do you do with those Nat cards? Now, that all depends. Okay, some of the Nat cards you're going to be able to use for tokens, whatever like that. Some of the Nat cards you're going to be able to make other cards out of it. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean this exchange set. I've showed this to you several times, right? A lot of you guys have a lot of Nats and you're like, yo, bro, I don't know what's going on. What do I got to do? What's this all about? Okay, this is what it's about, bro. When you get Nat cards, EA has given you the opportunity to put Nat cards into these sets to get cards that are auctionable or tradable. For instance, every day you have to do a daily objective, right? So I'm going to use my lowest 62 to 65 overall cards, and I'm going to complete a set right now. This is just an example. Wait a minute, that guy was a Nat that I was just at. Okay, so this guy was a Nat. Do I see another Nat? Nat. Okay, so this guy's a Nat. So we use 2 Nats right there, right? Now, we open this pack up. This is just an example. Remember, you can go straight down the line and do it for the elites or whatever like that. Okay, look, I'm going to get a power-up card, right? Now, this guy is a pretty decent pull because the fullback, let me just say this really quickly. The fullback is a very interesting position because most of the time they don't block anyone. But what I've seen is I've reduced the overall of the fullback that I've been using, and I can see a big difference in the way that he plays. I just wanted to point that out. Okay, so will this guy be something that's valuable? It's possible, okay? But just remember, it's not about the training points for him because it's obviously the 3 points. I'm using this as an example because the higher you go up, obviously the more training points you're going to get. But just keep in mind that he is auctionable, okay? So you turn your Nats into auctionable cards, and that happens for every single one of these things going down, okay? So let's say, for example, right, we do a high goal to, elite exchange, all right? Now, these cards have very, very good value. Okay, the goals, you can just let them sit in the auction house and you can make money off of it. So what I recommend is, I can't do that guy. That guy, even though he's a Nat, that's my guy that's going to get an upgrade. Caleb Sturgis, I would look for Nats and see what you could find. And this one right here, specifically, if you're doing it this way, you only go Nats. Okay, now in other videos, you would see that I'm putting whatever in there that's lower. It's a reason for that. I'm just trying to get it done quickly to show you guys exactly what's going on. Realistically, you're going to use your Nat cards because they have no value and they're half of what the training points would be if you quick sold them, okay? The Nats, half. Just remember that. Nat equal half. So you want to make it an auctionable card to sell it. So look, because those Nats have no value outside of that, and other than making gold tokens, this is something that you would do with it. Now, you get an 81 overall card, right? So this guy's worth 95 training points, okay? So you just took Nats and you made 95 training. That's pretty much what you just did right now, all right? That's one aspect that I want you guys to understand. Keep in mind that you can still do other things. You can go higher. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to do these type of exchanges, even though I don't have the amount of cards that are necessary for that one. But if you're getting a lot of Nat cards that you just don't want, this is what you do. You click on it and you see what's available. Like for instance, right now, I don't need this 81 I just pulled. This guy, he's not even in my lineup anymore. And this guy is just there because I have no left outside linebacker. I don't even know why this guy is on my team right now. So if I wanted to do this set, I could realistically get, whatever they're giving you for 82 to 83. The 83 overalls, I believe, give you 200 training points. And you can do that through just Nats. Okay, so I want you to keep that in your mind. As you go through the solos, hold on to those cards and see what you can gain from it, because you'll be making thousands and thousands of training points by just grinding solos. Keep in mind, there's no contracts, so it is absolutely free. All you need is your time to play the solos. Let's go ahead and continue. Now, as we back out of that situation and we go to MUT tokens, right? This is where it gets really, really interesting, because I've been trying to explain to you guys that a lot of the things that you can do in this game is free, but you guys don't seem to understand it. So I'm going to go more in depth right now. If you have a lot of elite cards, right? A lot of elite, low elite cards, and you can make some elite tokens, this is what you're going to do. You're going to make your elite token. Now, in my case, I don't have a low 84 overall card, right? I don't have a guy I can just put in there. Other than Brian Urlacher, that, you know, I got to get rid of him. Everybody else right here are power-ups, so I would not dare do that, okay? With my 82 to 83s, all I have is Jordy Nelson and Todd Gurley. Now, I don't need Todd Gurley because I'm not going to complete the set, but I'm just holding on to him for now, so he would be fine to go into that set. And then with 80s to 81s, I have a different variety of whatever's going on here. I could definitely, with this guy and this guy, complete that and be on my way to a heavyweight. So realistically, I could go buy an 84 overall card from the auction house, go lurk it, and then put it into the set to make an elite token, right? Now, with these, I could make my gold tokens, and then with these, I can make my silver tokens. Okay, what does that mean? I've shown you guys listen, the heavyweight packs are glitchy, right? I wouldn't even look at flashbacks because you can lose too much with the flashbacks. So I would focus more on heavyweights, all right? So this is what you need: 1 elite, the 2 golds, and 3 silvers, all right? These heavyweights are giving you usually 87s and above. Why does that, what does that mean? Why are you telling us all this, Gmia? This is why I'm telling you that. 87s give you 775 training points, right? And if you have a lot of cards that you're just not using, what do? You go right over here, bro. You go into the auction house and you check some of these prices. Let's go look at some 87s and see what's going on with it. Let's go check those out really quickly. So we're going to go to 80. Okay, see, this is what I don't like. They have 86 to 87, but we're really looking for 87s. You'll see that the prices are really, really wild, right? For the 86 to 87s. So what I like to do is I just go through each one and just see which one's the lowest. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, from there, because remember, it's so many people that play the game. You're going to get guys that are going to put 87s up in some kind of situation, and you're going to be able to get a snipe. The fullback, you're not going to snipe anything. Dudes go hard with the fullbacks, and I don't know what the problem is, but dudes are going way too hard with the fullbacks. Their prices are out of this world. It makes no sense why their prices are that high. But again, what we're looking for are 87s, and sometimes it's very, like, this guy was the going guy that was mad serious. Like, he's at 67K. That's pretty good for 775 training points, all right? You could lurk Pierre Garçon for cheaper, but, you know, really, like, are you going to really be sitting around if you're trying to power up cards and whatever? Like, you want to get it done right now. So this is what I'm showing you. As you go through each one, you're going to find somebody's going to be putting up cards that are 87s for cheap, because you know what happens? Sometimes people want to just get something really, really quickly. So they're going to just put it, we've all been there. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like, you're like, oh, I got to get that card right now. I got to do it. And you guys go ahead and you put cards up for relatively cheap. And then you go for, it doesn't matter what's happening because you just need to get rid of it right now. I don't know how this card is this expensive because that card sucks. Do not buy a MAC card, bro. That guy is terrible. But you can see by the positions how some are lower and it gets higher. And you can go through all of them and see what's going on. And then it becomes, you know, pretty apparent to you what you can get away with, what the prices are. Like this right here, left end. Even though he's at 86, that's a pretty decent price. This guy is 68, he's still under 70. That's good for 775 training points, in my opinion. Now, some of you guys might go heftier and lurk higher and do whatever you want. But as you go through it, you'll find a lot of different lurks, okay? It's your job to get the best lurk. Because like I showed you the receivers, they're a little bit cheaper. You got to go with the best lurk, okay? We're not trying to be, oh, yeah, bro, this. No, you're going with the best lurk possible. So when you start going by position, the positions that matter more in Madden 19 are going to be higher priced. So you have to be careful with that, okay? Like, why is Talib so cheap? He's slow. Talib is slow. So what happens is, when you go and you look at his cards, you can probably lurk the 86, but we really want the 87, so we're going to put a little bit more coins into it, so that way we just get the 775 all at once. Now, if you're lucky enough to be able to lurk the higher cards like these, and you don't really care about what's going on, because sometimes people put these cards up for like 99K because they're just not selling, you go through it and you lurk it enough, you're gonna be pretty good. You're not gonna have the issues, because what happens is, like I said before, depending on what position you're looking for, they get lower. They get lower and they get lower. Like this guy was at 220 2 weeks ago. Okay? And I've been stressing to you guys to not be idiots. Like, look, 100K. All right? So 100K is going to get, what is that, 1,000, almost 1,000 training points, or 1,100, something like that for the 88. In my opinion, that's pretty good. And you might say, bro, yo, why are people doing that? Why is it so cheap? What's going on? Nobody is buying the card. So if I needed 1,000 training points right now, that would be a card I would buy. Okay? And then a lot of you guys are going to still be like, yo, but Gmia, I don't got the coins. I don't want to hear that, simply because you don't have to pay contracts. Okay? That's number one. There's no contracts in the game anymore. So if you have not grinded all your solos, don't even let me know what you're talking about, because I'm not interested. Okay? You guys need to start putting in the work. And then after that, if your pack luck is still bad and stuff like that, you go to the sets and you start doing these different things to get these training points. Okay? Because now, when you start looking at your team, you have to make sure that certain positions are definitely powered up. The O-line is very important. Your quarterback is very important. Your wide receiver is very important. So when you look at it from that aspect, you need to figure out how to get that stuff done. That's not an easy thing to do, guys. You see what I'm saying? Like, you really need to make sure that you're doing the best that you can to get these training points and use them the right way. Because if you don't, you're going to be a step below of what the next person that you run into is going to be doing. Because everybody understands at this point that a base card is just not going to cut it anymore. EA has turned the game into a power-up frenzy. So you just have to know which power-ups are useful and how to get the most. And that's what I'm trying to stress to you right now. Like this, at this point right now, where we are in the game, this is the only ways that I've been able to successfully power up most of my team that I want powered up. Okay? For the guys that I don't care about, I'm not powering them up. I don't really care about their problems. It doesn't matter to me. The dudes that I want powered up are already powered up. And you have to make sure that the guys that you're going to be using on a regular basis also have that edge, because it definitely matters in game. Okay? So if you have any other questions about training points, feel free to leave it in the comment section. But please, guys, help out your family, your friends. Let them know. If they're having issues with it, show them a video, because a lot of people have been sharing the videos and people have been getting better and better, and they've been learning a lot more about Madden, and that's what I've been striving to do. So I would appreciate it that, if we get all the information out so everybody knows it, that we care about. Obviously, we don't want the guys that we're playing against to know about it, but if you want people to understand and to build their team and to enjoy MUT more, this is something that you might want to do. Let me know what you guys and girls are thinking. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love.